Hey, guess what, everybody? Go listen to the Break It Down show.
And now, the Break It Down show with John and Pete.
Yeah. This week on the Break It Down show, we have, I'm in a classroom on the campus of Cal State East Bay.
That's right.
With Kabir Singh.
How's it going, man?
Holy shit.
It was good.
Dude, you killed.
It was fun. It was always nice to come to a university. Usually you have to travel hundreds of miles to get to a university to do stand-up in front of 500 people. This was great that this was about, 15 minutes away from our house, right? 3 minutes away from the bar.
Where are you from?
I have a place in North Hollywood and I have a place in Fremont, so it's like a kind of a combo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice lifestyle right there.
It's a decent lifestyle.
What do you mean decent, man?
It could be better if we could pick more winners, right, guys? Yeah, I feel like if it wasn't all the gambling going on and all the losing, it would be a lot better.
Okay. I once had a friend tell me that his life would be monumentally more satisfying if it weren't for slow ponies and fast women.
Slow ponies and fast women. Wow, I would love to have that problem.
Yeah.
I feel like I deal with a slow pony because they don't call you at 8 a.m. wondering where their 4Gs are at. Slow ponies can't phone call you.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
That's right.
They can't take your money, though.
That's right.
Did you grow up here?
I was born in Portland, Oregon. I lived in so many places, but I was here from high school to now. Then we went to San Diego for a little bit, and then we went to Houston for a little bit, and then we moved to India for 2.5 years.
You lived in India?
2.5 years in Bombay.
As a teenager?
As a pre-teenager. I believe I want to say I was there from the ages of 9 to 11, no pun intended.
I have to know, what did that teach you?
It taught me that nobody likes me in America and nobody likes me in India. I got made fun of for being Indian in America. When I went to India, I used to get my ass beat for being American.
Yeah.
And then I came back to America, and then I continued getting my ass beat for being Indian.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was fun.
Man, you know what? Enduring the ass whoopings makes for great comedy.
It did. India was a different kind of ass whipping, though. It was different because we used to get beaten up by my teachers. They were very strict, and I was a class clown in America. And what happens when you're a class clown in America? You become popular. The girls, the teacher hates you. Your grades are down.
Right.
But in India, you're the class clown in India. You're getting your ass beat. The other kids aren't really laughing because they don't want to get their ass beat. So it was a culture shock for me when I went there for grades.
People didn't let you be funny.
You know what? They were cool. I think the general public liked me, but then there was always the guys in India that were threatened the fact that I came from America.
Yeah.
They were threatened because I was dressing better, looking better than those guys, which is not saying much. But when I was there, I used to get, I wouldn't say it was full-blown racism at that point.
Wow.
Yeah, they did not like me because I'm from America, the way I talked, the way I looked, the way I acted.
Yeah.
So it was 2 years of really, it was a tough 2 years, but it was also a very fun 2 years. Because right when school ran out, you're running stuff. When you're from America and you're in India, you're killing it.
Okay.
When you're going everywhere, you're from America, so you're getting first-class service.
Yeah.
You're drinking at the age of, I was driving a little scooter motorcycle when I was 10. So I had the freedom to go anywhere I wanted to.
Yes.
And also my dad was doing very well at that point, so I had a driver. So I would be able to do whatever I want outside of school hours, but the actual school time was pretty rough.
Yeah. You're just getting your ass kicked and thinking to yourself, man, as soon as this school bell rings, I'm getting out of here.
Oh, I'm getting out of here and I'm going to live a good life.
Yeah. Wow. So then you came back here and you moved to Fremont?
No, when I came back here, we were in Rochester, New York for about a year and a half.
What did your dad do?
He would go to other businesses and what's that word with that? A consultant. So he was a consultant. Thanks, man.
Okay.
He was a consultant. So you would hire him even when he went to India.
He had to phone a friend.
Yeah, I had to find
out what his dad did for a living.
So in India, when he consultant. Yeah. Yeah. Well, $0 an hour. But what happens is when he moved to India to be a consultant for a business that was making the gas pumps.
Okay.
So he was the guy that was over there consulting the business to make gas pumps. Did very well. And then when he moved back to America, what happens when you're a consultant, you have to get hired by companies. So we were in Rochester. It took him about a year to get back on his feet. We were living with my sister who was going to medical school there. And then we moved to Fremont right after that. And then he was the CEO for Mannix, which was another consulting company for a few years. Yeah.
Huh. Wow. So you got to experience the world. You got to experience life in
India
a lot
and
of
America.
different places.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, right, India and America, and you're Indian, but still, that's a lot more than a lot of people get to see.
No, I'm very fortunate. I got to see, I got to live my childhood in two different complete dimensions. And, I thought it was pretty interesting.
I imagine that feeds your comedy.
It did, because the only way that I was going to avoid getting beaten up in America and India was making people laugh. So when I went to India, the first year was rough, but then I was always funny all the time, no matter what. So at that point, I was gaining friends in India. So the last year was good. I almost think if I didn't leave India, it wouldn't have been that bad, actually. I felt like if we actually stayed in India, I think it would have been actually not that bad at all.
Huh.
Yeah, I feel like I could have done, comedy would have been my dream. In my head, I probably would have found a way to become a pioneer of comedy in India at that point, because there was no stand-up.
Yeah.
And stand-up was something that I wanted to do all the time. When I moved back to America, again, just being funny, having people like me was the way to go at that point.
Well, you had stand-up on your mind since you were a kid, and even when you moved to India, you were thinking about it.
No. Obviously, when I was a kid, I wanted to be in movies. When I was in India, I wanted to be in Bollywood movies. I thought that was a realistic situation for me.
Right.
I always wanted to be funny. But hindsight's 2020, though. Like, when I was in India, I felt like I could have done some damage in the industry.
Yeah.
But when we moved back, you know, education was a big part of it. I did the high school. I did the college thing. And then right after that, I decided to do stand-up. But
where'd you go to school?
Mission San Jose High School in Fremont, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool. It was a lot of fun doing that stuff. And then I went
There's
right into
one or
stand-up.
two Indians at Mission San Jose High
There's
School.
a few, a million. Actually, my boy over here, Jeremy over here, was over there ninth. Wait, what year did you graduate?
93.
93. Jesus Christ.
Man.
I started at 99. And then I did the 03-ness. And he said,
Sorry. It's a podcast. You say whatever you want.
You can say what the fuck you want, man.
Yeah. So let me see if I get this straight though, but you have always been an entertainer. Just stand up came a little later.
Well, I didn't realize you could actually get paid for being a class clown. And
Right.
then when I realized that was that's what you can do, I jumped on that.
Yeah. So it seems like, man, your comfort level with the mic when you go up is
that you can be more. There's not a person in America more comfortable than me on the mic. In front of
that's
strangers.
clear, because a lot of people have, even when you see stand up, when you see comedians who have who play guitar and and sing songs and stuff, the use of the guitar to me is going up with a weapon.
Right.
You go up empty handed.
No,
it's you and the microphone.
When you're doing stand up, there's a natural, listen, I always think that you have to be legitimately born with
Jeremy,
the natural. Yeah. No, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But I'll also throw a mic. So when it comes to stand up comedy, there are people that will do the guitar and stuff like that, which I have no problem with because I think that's very funny. There's a lot of people that are very funny with the guitar and it makes their set better. But I always find I think the most natural way to do stand up is just with the mic in your head. But there's a lot of people that do stand up classes to learn how to do stand up.
How is that?
I don't think it works. I think you have to be bored with something in your heart that you're able to have a one-sided conversation with a bunch of strangers to be able to carry that. The way to have that in you is by doing that at parties.
Yeah.
For, people always ask me how long I've been doing stand-up comedy for. And it's 6 years and people get pissed for the shit I've accomplished in 6 years, but they don't understand.
Why?
Well, because
people who gets pissed?
This is Jeremy Curry, everybody. Very funny, very funny. Also joining us tonight. Who gets pissed, Jeremy?
A lot of people. A lot of successful comedians that are like at Kabir's stage, it takes them 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
But the unique thing about Kabir is, I don't know if you saw it or not, his material relates with anybody.
Yeah.
His material relates with an 18-year-old to a 70-year-old.
Well, you do some material that has to do with being Indian, like your arranged marriages and things like that are cultural, but there's still things that you relate it back.
Yeah, you don't need to be Indian to laugh at the Indian.
His stuff is easy to follow.
Yeah.
It's very easy to follow. He dumbs it down.
So with us, who just
Jeremy
joined us
Curry,
on
by the way, he opens for me religiously.
Yeah. So Jeremy, what you open for career
I have
religiously?
lucky, what's the word I'm looking for? Extinction?
Lucky motherfucker?
I got the right lottery ticket.
How did you?
People should be mad at him skipping lines, not me.
How did you earn that
I
lottery
actually
ticket?
earned it.
Cause you could say that you got that lottery ticket. I mean, at least you got some numbers. Yeah, you earn it, but you maybe got a couple of lucky numbers from going to Mission San Jose High School.
Well, no, I didn't know him Mission, but the thing is about Jeremy.
You guys are separated though. You guys weren't
by
there
many
at the same
years.
time, but yeah.
The thing about Jeremy is I see
He
a lot.
many years.
Many.
Settle down.
Jesus. Wow.
Many years. The thing about Jeremy is that, again, he's a salesman. He sells shit. So what happens is he's comfortable around strangers. Again, when you're doing stand-up, again, this is not about making your friends laugh or what you think is funny. It's about having a one-sided conversation with a group of strangers.
Okay.
And doing jokes that they understand, they like, and to make them laugh.
Right.
Now, what he's been doing, I mean, when you're a salesman, you know how to sell. And when you start writing jokes, you can sell those jokes to those people. And that's what I've noticed. I mean, Jeremy's only been doing comedy for less than a year.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So
less than a year, and you open, and as an opener, how long's your set?
10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending.
Yeah. He could do up to, I mean, I've had this guy do 30 in front of me.
Yeah, sometimes you just leave him out there to cook, huh?
I do. It's fun. But you know what? Listen, there's been a lot of times where I've been left out to cook. So it's fun watching someone else do that and watch the, just the transition into somebody that, you got to learn quick on the job, man.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if you're going to stand-up classes and someone's trying to teach you,
what is that class all about?
oh, it's about another person who has not made it successfully in stand-up. So what happens is, my theory about other people taking stand-up classes is a bad idea because you can't get taught. By the way, you're only getting taught by other comedians that have failed.
Right.
I know that sounds mean.
No, that does not sound
Dane
mean.
Cook, Robin Williams,
They're not teaching classes.
Not teaching classes.
There's no time.
These are comedy bookers,
right?
That have decided not to do stand up anymore and decided to just give up on everything.
Like I used to have a room and I used to host, and that wasn't working out.
And it's a money grab for them. And mind you, it's not a bad thing to take that class.
Yeah.
But that's not going to make you funny. It's not going to make you very good. You have to have
might give you a little time.
No, it'll teach you how to create a set. But creating a shitty set,
right?
If you're not funny, all they're going to do is structure your set.
Yeah.
So do this shitty joke, do this shitty joke, do this shitty joke.
The shit still ain't funny.
No.
Yeah. So you ever take any of these classes, Jeremy?
No, I have the best seat in the house. Man.
Yeah.
I'm watching Kabir. He's just electric. He's amazing.
Yeah.
I heard about him. It's like, have you seen this guy Kabir Singh? Because I was doing comedy for about 6 months before I met him, and then I finally saw him at Tommy T's, and I was like, oh. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I've been doing open mics and like little lame shows.
Yeah.
And, he was on a European tour and then he finally came back and I met him and I saw him and I was like, whoa. And I went back and I saw him again. And then I was like, this is what I want to be like. So I hit him up and I was like, I'll be your friend.
Damn. All right. Well, in the interest of full disclosure, I'm brand new. We've had the show for my partner Pete, who's not here. He and I had a community radio show together, and it was pretty good. And the other people who were in our peers at the station were like, "You guys get the fuck out of here. You guys got to do long form interviews because you guys are entirely too interesting for this format, and you like to cuss." Mm-hmm. So we said, "Okay, we'll start a podcast." Yeah. So we started doing that, and one of the things that happened was we started getting. I enjoy the podcast of a guy named Mick Betancourt. He has a Mick Betancourt show, and his podcast is amazing and it's terrific. It's my favorite one, and I like a lot of them. But we went to LA, Pete and I did, to interview Sly Stone. And Pete said, fuck it, man. Why don't you reach out to Mick Betancourt and see if he'll do the show? And so we did, and he said, fuck, sure. We'll do the show. So we went to his studio, did our show from his studio, and, he's been doing stand up for years, but he even is, I guess you could call him a failed comedian, because what he ended up doing was he moved to LA to be a comedian, ended up writing for TV, and he's a writer and a successful one. And he's written for all kinds of show, Law and Order and shit like that. But he writes drama, and then at night he goes up.
Well, nothing failing about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great comedians.
If you could make a living off of doing anything,
and
like
he says absolutely that his time as a comedian informs his writing, and it wouldn't be what it is without that. But I said, yeah, man, it's pretty cool. And he said, well, you should fucking go up, you fucking pussy. Go up. When you going up? And then, so we have a friend who has a room in Fairfield once a month. And he said, yeah, man, I've been trying to get you up here, get up. So I've been up twice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I've done a grand total of
cumulatively 15 minutes.
So there you go.
Well, unfortunately, stand-up is generally a dead end.
Yeah.
Like for me, when I do stand-up, I'm not trying to be the best stand-up comic ever. What I'm trying to do is be funny enough to be noticed to get on a show, acting-wise.
Yeah.
Like, I would never want to write for a show. Ever.
Wow.
Never. I would never want to do that. Because I want to be on that show.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole goal is I want to be on the show so people see me on the show and then buy tickets to see me do stand-up.
Sure.
So me making 80 to 90 grand a year writing for a show for me is nothing that I would ever want to do.
Yeah.
You know, but it's difficult to live that life. Like, I would love to just create specials and specials over and over again for Comedy Central, HBO, and Showtime.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do.
Sure.
But it's so hard to do that.
Fuck yeah,
You know,
it is.
and the only way to do that is by getting the shortcut, which means getting a small role on a TV show that airs every week.
Yep.
So people watch you.
Yeah.
And then you're in.
Aziz.
Aziz is probably a guy that got on the boat early. He left. I mean, he risked a lot of shit. Aziz left. I don't know what his family situation is, but when he left to LA when he was very young, he got the Human Giant show on MTV. He did that, and then he auditioned, got Parks and Recreational, right? Which is, for me, I don't.
Huge.
It's a huge show, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a huge audience, though.
it's a huge audience.
It exposed him to
It exposes
to America.
Yes, I know, but then he gets to sell at the theaters, and people watch to do stand up.
Right.
But that's what I want to do. I want to be. But there is also, like, I don't know if his stand-up, I don't know how funny, I don't think Parks and Recreational is funny.
Yeah.
I don't think his stand-up is funny.
Okay.
But I think that he worked hard enough to get to the point where he was. Now, I think Russell Peters is funny.
Yeah, Russell Peters.
Now, Russell Peters had absolutely none of that.
Yeah.
I mean, he sat there on a mic for 21 years, blew up at the 15th year mark by creating specials in Canada that was on YouTube and blew up.
Yeah.
Now, that's straight stand-up that blew him up.
Stand-up.
There was absolutely no shitty NBC show that made him act for 3 minutes a week on a show that a bunch of people watched for absolutely no reason, only because it was following The Office. So that is something that I like to see.
Well, I'm not going to burn it, Aziz. Sorry. I hope he comes and does our show, and I don't want to say, fucker, isn't funny.
I hope I open for Aziz.
But I
one day, too. I'm just
did.
saying that.
I did just yesterday. I watched his special that he did at Madison Square Garden. It was pretty funny.
Well, okay.
But, but it was just pretty funny. And it wasn't it wasn't like I was watching, Richard Pryor live on Sunset Strip.
But mind you, this is Aziz's 4th or 5th hour.
Yeah.
And he's burned, I'm sure his first hour.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my second hour of material. So obviously it's going to be stronger than somebody else's 5th or 6th hour.
All right.
You know, you have your first hour and that's all the funniest shit you've created for 3 years.
Yep.
In your second year. And then you start rushing it because you want to put out specials.
And it is not cooking that long.
No.
You don't have that 3-year simmer
But what
on
does
that
he
hour
care?
of material.
The point is, he hit the jackpot the minute Parks and Recreational hit the air.
Yeah.
He got cast on that. That went through about 5 or 6 seasons.
Right.
This is a guy that was not even featured as much on the show as the other people. I mean, Chris Pratt was barely on that show, and he's the motherfucking lead guy for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
So by no means does your art form becomes tampered because of a show.
Yeah.
You get on a show, you're out there now.
Yep.
And then people can select what they want you to do.
Yeah.
Now, Aziz can't be a fucking mega superhero guy, right?
Right.
So he does stand up.
Yeah.
And he's very funny. He's a funny guy. I'm not saying he's not a funny guy. It's just that he's selling out arenas right now.
Yeah.
Would he sell out arenas if he wasn't on Parks and Recreation and was just doing stand up for the last 8 years?
Negative.
So do you think that somebody like Russell Peters, who is selling out arenas after arenas for the last 9 years, off
That
of doing
dude
nothing,
might do like Wembley Stadium 9 nights in a row.
Russell will come to a stadium in any country you want.
Yeah.
20,000
South
seater.
Africa.
Yeah. Now, don't you think just by common law that Russell Peters might be a funnier stand-up comedian than Aziz?
Right. It definitely a purist. He's coming at it with no other promotional
Now, don't
crutch.
you think Brian Regan is a funnier comedian than everybody who
Yeah,
has not been on one goddamn TV show in his life and is selling out theaters everywhere?
Why do you think that is?
Because he's a funny comedian and he's funnier than everybody that we're pumping up on television.
Yeah.
He's funny. Brian Regan
But
is
what is it about Brian Regan that television? I mean, if I'm a television exec, I'm like, we got to get this dude.
Maybe he can't act.
That could
Maybe
be.
he can't act. Maybe he doesn't give a shit.
That could be.
Maybe his art form is to be coming on a stage with a mic and ripping it hours of clean comedy and producing. Louis C.K. just got a show recently,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
His show can be depressing sometimes.
Yeah.
I've never watched a Louis C.K. His show, Louis. I watch his show all the time. I think it's funny, but it can be very depressing.
It is
sometimes.
very
I think it's
depressing.
boring. I find it really
And he
boring.
finds it boring.
I'll tell you what, I do too. And I love Louis C.K. I love him, but I just can't sit there and
But
watch
see, here's
that.
the thing. He got that show. I mean, this is where it comes right here. He didn't get that show before he became a stand-up star, right?
Right.
He got that show because he was
Because,
a stand-up show.
right, yeah.
All right. That's the big difference.
Yep.
That's the big difference between him. He's in a group of him, Bill Burr, Patrice O'Neill, guys that never got on those hand me out NBC CBS shows.
Right.
And got that platform to where a bunch of white people in America said, I like this guy. This guy's funny. He's on the show. Let's go watch him.
Yeah.
No, this is him pumping out hours of material
Yep.
every year. And whether if you think Louis C.K. is funny
Every year, a new hour too.
Louis C.K., yeah. And is it the best?
No, but yeah, every year putting a new hour out. It's
But-
amazing.
But he got that show because of his hours of material.
Absolutely. But he also, I mean, he can go anywhere now and just get a theater anytime.
But he built that off of stand-up. He didn't build that off of
But
TV.
A lot of his stuff, though, I mean, when you're known, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
You can just say, I went walking down the street.
Right.
And people start laughing.
Yeah.
And you know what my point
Well,
is?
you know what?
Is
Adam
how you
Brolin.
got known. Did you get known by a TV
Yeah, I mean,
show
Louis-
that
no,
was
no,
scripted
Louis
for
C.K.
you?
got it known
Or did you get known by your stand-up comedy,
He
Blood,
got
Sweat,
known
and
through
Tears?
stand-up. It wasn't his
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah. And you're right. Blood, sweat, and tears and your own wits.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears, your own writing with a pen. And Louis C.K. wrote a lot of Chris Rock's greatest jokes back in the day, too.
Yep.
Bill Burr wrote a lot of Dave Chappelle shit back in the day.
Yeah.
But these are the guys that I want to aspire to now. If you give me the ticket,
Yep.
the ticket to get on NBC. And listen, I'm a smart guy.
Yeah,
I'm not an idiot.
yeah.
I don't want to go down that route. I want to get on a TV show.
However,
I want to get on a TV show that is written by somebody else. I'm on it here and there, and people see me and come see me do stand-up.
Do stand-up, yeah.
That's the route I want to take.
Okay.
I want the Aziz route.
Uh-huh.
I want that route.
It's fine.
I don't want the Russell.
it's okay. You're not above it.
It's $20,000 a weekend.
Yeah. There's
That's
that.
a good paycheck.
There is that.
I don't want the Aziz, Bill Burr, Louis
D-Ray.
C.K. 25-year route.
Yeah.
I want the Aziz route. And mind you, Aziz didn't take any shortcuts. I'm just saying
I
that,
hear you, man.
that show blew him up while his stand-up didn't blow him up like the other three guys that I mentioned,
Yeah.
including Dane Cook.
Right.
If you like the show,
And you know you do.
send us some pictures of your movies.
Don't do that. Support the show.
There are 3 ways you can support us.
Number 1, go to iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen to podcasts.
And leave a 5-star rating and review.
It helps with the show metrics and helps us get better placement. Number 2,
Visit our website.
www.breakitdownshow.com.
We've got an Amazon and an eBay link.
Same Amazon, same eBay, you know and love, but they give us a little kickback when you get to their site from ours. And number 3, leave comments about the shows that you like. We want to know what you think, how you feel.
Tell us how to make the show better. We greatly appreciate it.
Now back to the show.
We like boobies.
I mean, he brought comedy back. People want to shit on Dane Cook.
Yeah.
There was no comedy in 98. 98.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? 98?
Right.
Comedy clubs are being shut down.
Yeah.
And then
Right here.
Dane Cook
You
came
know,
out.
there was a Tommy T's in San Ramon that got shut down. It was a Foo Bars and Martinez that got shut
Dane
down.
Cook came out with his double album. It was one of the funniest albums I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Brought comedy clubs back to life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Man.
So I have a vision of what I want to do, and it's the shortcut.
Well, let's talk about, before you get to your shortcut, one of the reasons that we're here is to pump your show that's coming up on the 20th of March at the Empress Theater in Vallejo. You are performing with Ellis Rodriguez and Leonard Jackson.
Leonard Jackson, he's
Yeah.
a killer.
A kid.
And my boy Jeremy Curry will be on that show too.
Are you on the, right on?
I guess so. I just found out.
See that ride?
See
It's
that?
all about who you
He's
know, man.
right.
It's all about networking.
Yeah.
Not
No,
about
that
it.
Vallejo show is going to be great. You're going to see Ellis Rodriguez, who we both.
Very good friend of ours. Very good comic.
Yeah.
Outstanding comic.
I mean, this is a guy that I respected when I first started doing stand-up comedy. We did a San Jose Improv Comedy Competition about 5 years ago, and Sammy Obeid came in first. Hassan Minhaj came in second. Hassan Minhaj is now on the Daily Show.
Yeah.
And third was Ellis Rodriguez.
Man, that ain't bad.
Talent there.
Yeah.
That is some
Yeah.
talent.
That's thick.
Yeah, came in fourth. I was very bitter.
Okay.
Next
Came
year,
in fourth?
Yeah.
That was his
next
that
year.
was your second year.
Let's go see what else is doing tonight.
Yeah.
Second year doing comedy.
That was my first year doing
was your
comedy.
first year
Can you
doing
believe it?
comedy.
Next year I swept it, came in first the next year. Ellis is one of the funniest comics around right now. So
Yeah.
you get to see, anytime you get a ticket to see me and Ellis for under $50 is a pretty good deal.
That's a bargain. And Jeremy will be there and he'll sell you some shit.
Yeah, I'll sell you some shit.
If you need roofs,
You
windows.
need some Kabir Singh shirts. I'm your guy.
Man.
I won't
So
let no one walk by.
you're on tour right now. I
I'm-
caught you in a rare day in the Bay Area.
Well, yeah, I'm in the middle of my college tour, and unfortunately, one of the colleges were 25 minutes away from me. But tomorrow, I'm going to be doing Montana University. The next day after that is going to be Denver University, and then South Alabama University. So I'll be back on Saturday.
Wow. You're all over the place. You going, Jeremy?
No, I'll be hosting the San Jose Improv tomorrow night for Samuel Bade.
All right.
Sam Bade, one of the funniest comics there. That's
Now,
a
this
great
is
show.
not going up before tomorrow night, so I apologize for that.
No problem. No
so
problem.
that plug's not going to, we're not going to do you too
That's
much
all
good
right.
on that
No,
part.
I can send it to Sammy later on.
It's already
It's committed.
It's already committed. There's already officially going to be 14 people there.
All right.
Let's get
No, it's 4. Cale Jones. 14 would be phenomenal. I tried to get Jeff on the show. He's like, no.
Man. So, but tonight, you faced a house of a couple hundred. You killed. They were,
Not only that, the show was supposed to be structured to where they would be the local comics going up at 7, and then 8 o'clock they'd have an intermission.
Uh-huh.
And then Jeremy was supposed to go up and then bring me up. But tonight, they just threw me up there at about 7:50. I went up there and murdered it for 20, and then threw poor Jeremy up there, who did very well.
man.
Take the time whenever you can get it.
Man,
That's right.
You know,
And
but
that's-
I mean, that's a good. I mean, I didn't follow him as well as I wish I would have. If following him is it's hard to do. It's
Well,
hard
you
to
know
do.
what? And here's an underrated comic. Jay Leno. He used to go up after Richard Pryor. He said he would go to the Comedy Store and he would purposefully go up after Richard Pryor because if you follow Richard Pryor, you will know when your shit's not funny.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He just went up. He wasn't afraid to get his ass handed to him. And he'd go up after Richard Pryor would slay the room, and then he'd do his shit, and he'd go, well, I got to throw that out because that shit ain't
But
funny.
you also have to look at it like this, though. If you go up after Richard Pryor, you know you're going to not do well.
Yeah.
But you also can't do your material and say that material's not funny.
Well, but that's what he did. He would be like, well, if I went out there and I did 20 jokes and 4 of them were cool, I knew they were fucking good, you know? And so that was part of
But a
his
lot
process.
of times, a lot of comedy too is like it's who your crowd is.
Yeah.
So like today, I kind of struggled because my crowd was young kids.
Uh-huh.
Instead of adults. Like I said, the rare thing about Kabir is his stuff hits everybody.
It's universal.
It's universal. I'm 40.
Yeah.
So I've had the kid.
Right.
Had the mortgage, so these kids here in college, they have no idea.
Well, see, I'm in your demo.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, I still find Kabir hilarious.
Kabir's
because
the best.
There is, I'm not in an arranged marriage, for instance, but I almost wish I almost, could I have done better? Who knows?
Oh, his but Kabir's joke writing is amazing, but his delivery is just outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding. His fluctuation, his energy. That's what I learned from the beginning. Cause when I first started comedy, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And then I saw the confidence and the electrical.
The
electricity
thing
guy who
is,
brings to the
though,
stage.
that people can go up and try and force the energy. And that's what the difference is, I think.
It's
is that
natural with him.
Nothing is forced.
It's natural.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy could lose $1,500 in 4 minutes.
That sounds
You'll
like,
never know.
That sounds like the voice of experience.
Well, I
You've
lost
seen-
$1,200
You've
of
seen
it.
that happen?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Let's talk about Swiss Park.
Man. What's Swiss Park?
Oh, it was a show.
We got a great show here.
We had a
happening
great
on-
show, but we didn't do so well with the picks.
Yeah.
I think yes. I think stand-up has to come from the heart. You can't learn it.
Yeah.
You can't study it. You can't, it's something that's come from the heart, which is why there's a very small percentage of people that can make a living off of it.
That's true.
You gotta be very funny. You gotta be really dedicated, man, because there's no thumbs up, man. I mean, I'm gonna go up on Montana, Denver, and South Alabama, and I'm probably gonna murder all 3 shows, and no one's gonna hear about it.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up there and murder it in front of 500 people on half a day of sleep. But who cares, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I just smashed this place. Who's gonna care about that?
Well, somebody.
No, nobody cares. What people care about is the show that you're on.
Yeah.
They want to see you on TV weekly.
Yeah.
They want to see you, and then they want to say, "Hey, we're gonna see this guy on that show."
Yeah.
And then they come see you on that show. You're gonna be very funny, and then people come to your shows again.
Yeah.
But the key is to be on those shows.
Wow.
Yeah. It's depressing. And you're also going to have a bunch of people that are not funny.
Yeah.
That are depressed with their lives, that are not good enough to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Making decision whether if you should do it or not.
Damn.
That's the worst. So you're going to have people sit there that have given up on any kind of comedy, given up on their lives, sit there with a pad of paper and be all like, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He's okay. We'll put him in. Or someone will say, oh, that guy's not very funny. So that's the battle that comedians have to do every day. We have to impress people that are not funny, that have no idea what funny is, that will not take a trip in their car to watch you in your own environment.
Right.
Do well.
Yeah.
They'll throw you in a classroom like this with 4 motherfuckers with a pen and a pad, and will judge you whether if you're funny or not.
Wow.
And it's the worst thing ever. And that is what we have to battle. So you want to give the thumbs up to the people that have proven and have done well in that situation.
Yeah.
And you want to give the thumbs up to the people that avoid that situation and still made it other way.
Yeah.
But that's stand up. That's the way it is.
That is the way it is.
Listen, man, I sat there, NBC Stand Up for Diversity. These guys that have been doing better, you're going to sit there with 4 people and you're going to do your jokes.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's rough.
And they won't see you murder the 19 shows that you massacred in the last 20 days.
Yeah.
They'll watch you right now and be like, that joke's
4 of us in
offensive.
here.
Man, that joke.
I didn't dig that joke.
And these are the most untalented 4 people in fucking America.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there with a fucking pencil, whether or not you're going to make a living on this. It's the worst thing ever.
Wow.
I don't know what to do. There's no combine for us.
Yeah.
You know? No one could judge how high we jump or how good we could throw a fucking football.
Yeah.
You killed it for 19 days in a row, and now we want to see you kill in front of the 4 of us. And the 4 of us have no idea what they're fucking doing.
Yeah.
We like that guy.
And they're 4 cynical fucking.
Oh God. And they like guys that are not even remotely on your level.
Wow.
They'll pass me up and be like, that guy's okay. I like that guy. And that guy can't fucking handle 15 minutes in the fucking show that I just did tonight.
Yeah, Jeff will get the gig.
Jesus Christ.
That's what we have to deal with.
Man,
we have to impress 4 idiots.
That is some heavy shit.
It's some heavy shit. We're impressing to make it big. Now this is cute what we do.
Yeah.
Going around doing stand up, making some money. It's cute. But to make it big, we're now impressing 4 people that have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to see depressing, go to the Comedy Store on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, because like all the big time headliners, whatever, they're out in the, everywhere else making money.
Right.
And you see the guys have been grinding for 20 years.
It's funny that you say that. It's like go to the Comedy Store on Saturday night.
No.
But Saturday night is when everybody who's made it is elsewhere.
They're elsewhere.
Fuck.
Or if you see a star there, they'll just be open micing it.
And if you do see a star there, they will be at the best spot possible. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And they deserve that.
Yeah.
Guys like Daniel Tosh and guys like Nick Swartzen, they deserve that. But you have to understand, guys like Nick Swartzen made it because of Reno 911.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on Reno 911.
Yeah.
You have to get on TV.
You gotta.
You get on TV,
just
you
how
become
it
an
happens.
automatic headliner. There's 2 routes. You either become the fucking top 5% stand-up comedian, ripping it all the time, and you get this weird fan base that love you for some reason because of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Or you just, I don't know, get on a TV show.
Okay, but man, you just took shit. You just took our show in a dark place.
I will.
And I'm just going to tell you this because you've been at it fucking 6 years.
Yeah. No.
He's been at it 6 years, but
And I get that it's frustrating to get in front of 4 people, but fuck those 4 people. Fuck them.
My question is, here's a great example, right? I'm going to give you the greatest example ever.
Somebody at some point's going to be like,
What's a
yeah,
hit show
man,
right
fucking
now?
Kabir. He's been at it 18 years, and that's why we now.
You watch Breaking Bad?
No.
You watch, what show do you watch? What TV show
I
do
watch
you
a bunch of shit, but.
What's a TV
nothing.
show that you like to watch?
Blacklist.
Blacklist. Is that the one with that?
James Spader?
James
Yeah.
Spader?
Yeah.
Now, if James Spader decided to do a stand-up show for no reason.
Now, I'll give you a real example, though, of what you're talking about, because I know what you're talking about. Adam Carolla. Adam Carolla had Love Lines, and then Love Lines became a TV show, and he's
Adam
funny.
Carolla is one of the funniest guys ever.
I saw him though the first year that he went out after his radio show got canceled.
He's not a.
And he came out and he did a PowerPoint presentation. It was mildly funny, and I'll go see him again. I like the dude; he's funny. But that first year that he came out, man, he wasn't that funny.
But you're seeing him because you saw him on TV.
That show was not great, but it was exactly because I knew who he was, and it was like, oh, it's Adam Carolla.
Listen, Adam Carolla is one of the funniest minds that we've had in our generation. Really is. You put him on a fucking radio show. Listen, people are funny in different avenues.
Yeah.
You need, if you need, Adam Carolla needs someone to say something and bounce that back. You can't do that in stand-up.
Right.
Stand-up is a one-sided conversation.
And that's what that was.
Exactly.
That is exactly what that
Adam
was.
Carolla is one of the greatest, funniest minds of all time.
Right.
But the problem is he needs to have callers and he'll fucking jab at you, kind of shit on you, and it's great. But what I'm saying is Bryan Cranston, who was on Breaking Bad, the lead guy, bald guy, if he did a stand-up show at the Fillmore, how many tickets would he sell?
He'd sell it out.
He'd sell it out. Now, that is my goddamn point. You got Bryan Cranston, Jesse from Breaking Bad would sell it out too.
Yeah.
Just, I'm doing stand-up on the Fillmore.
Well, Jesse's a better example because Bryan Cranston has also been at it a long time. Steve-O. Fucking Steve-O.
We'll pack Tommy T's.
Yeah.
And then
now Steve-O, for his record, he has worked on it, right? He's funny.
he's getting there.
He's not great, but he's there, right?
Getting the butt. He'll pack it out.
All right.
I'm not going to name drop any names, but like Tommy T's is a club that we go to all the time.
Yeah.
And Kabir features there all the time.
Yeah.
And you'll see like after the first show, after Kabir features for certain names, they'll tell him to tone it down.
Oh, I've been told.
Come on.
Absolutely.
No, fuck.
And the places are packed. But because this guy's a name on a certain show, we won't say the shows or the names.
Yeah.
But Kabir will feature, smash the first show, and then up in the green room, the guy will go, "Hey man, can you turn it down a little?"
Oh, I've had it.
Come on.
I can name
Absolutely.
13 guys.
Fuck.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely. But
why wouldn't they?
I want so bad not to believe that.
oh, it happens all the time.
God damn it.
I've done shows where these guys who pack the place, pack the place, is the most god awful stand up you've ever seen in the world.
Yeah.
But there's people standing around the corner.
Yep.
Can't wait to see
Can't
him.
wait to see him.
And then after the show, they'll say, "Thank God you were here."
Yeah.
They'll tell me that.
Jesus.
What comedy clubs will do is they'll book a very good feature and host, and then
Yeah.
they'll get the famous guy up at the end.
Yeah.
And the famous guy will go up there and do what he has to do to keep the show running.
Yeah.
But the point is, guys, I mean, the law is written out for you.
Yeah.
I mean, to complain about the law and to not follow the law
Right.
and then complain about your life
Yeah.
is stupid.
That's the,
You know
the
what
old
you have-
adage about,
Yeah, you know what you
insanity.
have to do, buddy. You get on one TV show,
Yeah.
you're done. You're
Okay.
fucking great. And then when people come see you, you build a fan base.
All right. Well, then my question to you is this. The TV show that casts you, do you think it matters that you're Indian?
Probably will, because there are going to be a certain kind of characters that I could try out for.
Yeah.
Now, there are people like, again, Aziz, who's, again, I shit on him being a stand-up comedian. But as an actor, he has taken roles that have been written for other ethnicities.
Yeah.
No, he's
Parks
done
and
that.
Rec.
He's done that plenty of times. No one in Parks and Rec said that we need an Indian guy on the show.
Right.
But he came in there and nailed that role, and he got it.
And it was that guy, Indian or not.
Exactly. And he also did another show with Jesse, the guy from, he did a movie, 30 Seconds or Less, where he had the bomb. Remember that with the guy?
Yeah.
From, okay. That wasn't for an Indian character, but he nailed that role. Yeah. Aziz Ansari is a very good actor.
He's an actor,
he could take care of that. There are ways to go about it, doing that, but you have to get the opportunity and you have to be very good. Now, I'm not the best actor in the world. Aziz is very good. Aziz can take that role. Like, if I was in a role of a guy, you, who don't know Aziz or me, you've never seen stand-up comedy in your life, you have no idea who Aziz or me are, and we ran a page of lines, me and Aziz, you would pick Aziz because he would run it better than I would.
All right.
And I walk out the room saying Aziz was better than I was tonight. So that will happen repeatedly. So you have to get good at the craft that you're doing. Now, for me, I still have a little bit of me saying that I think you could do it just by doing stand-up. But there's been so many results in the past saying that it would be way easier doing it the way the other guys are doing.
Sure.
But like I said, look, that's the point. You got to get on these shows.
Did you know Joe Rogan was a stand-up comedian?
Well,
How
no.
did you know Joe? Exactly. You
No.
knew through Fear Factor.
Fear Factor.
News radio.
Yeah,
And
News
UFC.
Radio.
Yeah.
He was a stand-up comedian for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
And if you ever listen to his podcast,
All the time.
and it's great for comedians
Yes.
because he talks about eating shit
Yep.
for 10
For
years.
10 years. Yeah.
And then he got
slogging it out in Boston,
Exactly.
going out when it was fucking
But-
freezing outside.
Exactly. But he's one of the only comedians that will headline a show and put funnier acts in front of him.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that does that. because he has an opener named Joey Coco Diaz.
Oh, fucking Coco.
Ari Shafir too.
Ari Shafir, yeah.
Ari Shafir got me in the Comedy Store. I will always forget. I will always love Ari.
He's a rare guy.
Yeah.
But everyone
Ralphie
thinks
May.
Ralphie May. Yeah.
He always says, man, I will get the best middle I can and put him right in front of me. And cause God damn it, I got to get funnier.
Yep.
But that's not everybody.
But a lot of guys also, they can take that energy and move it.
Yeah.
Keep moving. Some people can't.
Okay.
You know, like some people can't handle it. But yeah, like Joe Rogan's a perfect example. Everyone thought Fear Factor, and no one knew he did stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And he's been doing stand-up comedy for like 10 plus years.
Well, by the time
20 years
Fear
now.
Factor came, I was already, a fan of Joe Rogan,
Yeah,
but because of
News Radio.
News Radio.
I never saw that show, but
Yeah. He was funny on that show.
Yeah, but who's buying
he
the
was a very small part of that show. I mean, look who else he was on that show with fucking.
No, I agree. But when you saw, listen, what he's selling tickets right now, it's all cute with the News Radio shit, but the people that are watching him buying tickets right now are the UFC
They're
fans.
UFC fans, yeah.
And when you're the commentator, the main commentator
you're selling out in 5 minutes.
for the fifth greatest sports, and it's like you're,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's there. He
can we
he has to just pick a room.
Are
That's
we really
it.
gonna sit here and be all like,
he's living the dream.
Right.
dude, the
All
guy.
I'm saying though is this. And
He's
by no
living
means
the
he
dream
does-
because
he just reached out for everything that he could do and grabbed it.
He's
And-
living the dream
and
because he
he's
was at
the commentator for that because
He
he
worked
had
his
the
ass
chops from
He
doing
absolutely
stand up.
worked his ass off.
Yeah, from doing those years of stand up, he had the chops.
But here's
he can
my
fucking
thing.
fight.
I'll say one thing. By no
grass.
means,
Yeah.
no means am I shitting on everybody, but I'm saying that these guys put their efforts into the right things.
Right.
The right things.
Right.
He put his effort into the right thing.
What I'm saying is this, though. Hindsight 2020 for them. What are we going to say 5 years from now when you're fucking blown the fuck up and we go, yeah, God damn, man. Do you remember when,
Thank
remember
God he
when
got
we
that
were in
TV
room?
show.
Right. What is it? Is it going to be the TV show? Is it going to be, I mean, it might be something else. It might be who knows what it is.
I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you one thing. If you're good enough and funny enough, you're going to get something.
See?
There's nobody that is not famous that is murdering every day.
Every day.
And just people.
It's only a matter of
There's
time.
not one comic that you sit there and be like, I don't understand why this guy isn't selling out theaters.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a few, but they will get there.
But only for a very limited
Very
time.
little bit of time.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are talking about Joe Rogan. It's like, why isn't this guy doing it?
I mean, Dave Chappelle, before he was huge, he had
Movies.
a half brother who lived in San Francisco.
My favorite.
And so he would come here and he would do little room. He would middle at Cobb's or open at Cobb's or something.
Yeah.
And his brother would try to wrangle up a bunch of people to go, let's go see my brother. And then you bring 15 people there and they would get fucking slain.
Yeah.
And it was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So I think that's what,
You know who Angela Johnson is?
Yeah.
Okay. Did she make it big from Mad TV or was it for that nail salon?
I would
bit?
say it was the nail salon bit.
I'm asking you, Kabir.
Oh.
'Cause Kabir knows her
She
real
would.
well.
Okay, so Angela Johnson made it big because
I do sales,
Uh-huh.
and when I first started doing sales, people would say, "Oh, you want to be a comedian?" And I'd have so many women come up to me and show me that nail salon bit.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, have you seen her? Have you seen her? So I knew her through that.
Yep.
Versus the Mad TV.
Me too.
But
Yeah.
I guess she did Mad TV, obviously.
there are two comics that made it big by going viral.
Uh-huh.
Russell Peters
Yeah.
and Angela Johnson.
Angela Johnson.
But Angela is a different kind of talent. Like Angela,
Is fine, first of all. That didn't hurt.
Yeah. But she
Because it
nailed
was
that
like,
bit, bro.
she did. She nailed the
She
fuck out of
nailed
that bit.
that
But when you
Asian
watched
bit.
it, if you were a chick, you were like, I've been in that nail salon so many times. If you were a dude, you were like, yeah, she's been in a nail salon.
Angela
Man,
hit
she
three
was good.
demographics that no other comedians ever hit.
At
Gay
the same time.
population, women,
Uh-huh.
gay. And she hit it by Mad TV helped, the Bon Qui Qui
Uh-huh.
thing hit. The difference is she backed it up with great stand-up. I
Yeah.
mean, the Bon Qui Qui bit that blew up didn't happen until she was already dropped from Mad TV. So
Yeah.
you can't give any Mad TV any credit. Yeah, you're right. The nail salon bit went viral and that made her famous. But what are you gonna do when that makes? Okay.
Yeah,
think
you
about-
still got to bring it.
What
Now
are you
it's
gonna
like,
do?
okay, great. We'll
okay,
put you
that
up.
one joke broke. What did she do?
Yeah.
She built hours and hours of material of her doing amazing stand-up and kept selling out places repeatedly.
Yeah.
Now, if I had one bit that went on YouTube tomorrow and it blew up,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could successfully translate that into the career that Angela Johnson has done.
Yeah.
That's where you tip your hat to her.
Right.
And mind you, she's doing a brand new hour every year, and she's blasting them off on Showtime and everything. Angela Johnson is a very special person. She's very funny. She's very good at what she does.
Yeah.
But she's not the kind of person that I could say that, like, oh, that bit made her.
Yeah.
You know, that bit made her known to people, but she carried. There's a lot of goddamn.
That's the thing.
There's a lot of shit
we
that
could go right down the list. There might be one thing that breaks you,
what's
but
that
once
game-
you get there, you gotta stay. You gotta get your, you gotta get your footing.
You have to carry that to a different level.
Yeah.
And that's where you put your hands up to that.